Hey, good afternoon, YouTube. It's me, Chris, and you're watching Coins in the Wild. Welcome to the channel this afternoon. I wanted to talk a little bit today about our September 2020 stock picks, so welcome to the channel. Before we get to our pick for the month of September, we're going to talk a little bit about our prior picks, particularly the ones that we mentioned during the month of August. So to start with, I wanted to recap ZSAN. Now, ZSAN is awaiting FDA approval on October the 20th, 2020. But recently they filed for an additional direct offering of 15 million shares to be sold directly to the market. So the outstanding float on the stock was approximately 60 to 70 million shares. I'm going to say it was like 68 million shares or 65. And so that 15 million shares represents about a 25% dilution, you might say, of the current stock available. And that's very important. Right now the stock is trading at approximately, I think it's about 135 to 139 a share. And so the downside of that is we're looking at a 30 to 35% drop on the stock from the current levels if all 15 million shares are dumped on the market at once. And I do anticipate that they're going to do that. It is possible that they're going to wait until they get FDA approval and then drop the 15 million shares on the market and thereby wiping out the gains for shareholders, or at least a portion of the gains for shareholders. But it's more likely that they're going to do it before the FDA approval for the stock. And so keep an eye on that. That represents a bit of a downside. Now, one advantage, just talking about the number of shares that are currently available on the market, that would increase the current shares on the market to about 80 million. So being that it's a low float, essentially a penny stock at this point, there's going to be a lot of volatility in this stock if they get FDA approval. It easily could still reach the 475 median price target for ZSAN. If you take out the 25%, you can do the math. You're talking about $3.50, $3.75 a share. Still represents a significant upside on this stock. The question is at what point do you want to own the stock? And for me, I exited my position when they made that announcement. And the reason is I want to play with the house's money. I've made significant money moving in and out of ZSAN, as I'm sure a few other shareholders have done also in the last 45 days or so. And so I want to play with the house's money going forward. And so for me, I probably won't take as big of positions as I had taken in the past, but I'm still looking to make a little profit on the stock during the month of October. So I'll be re-entering a trade, and hopefully they will drop those shares on the market first, and then I'll re-enter and then be nicely positioned for the upside. So I hope you keep that in mind as you're trading as well. The next stock I want to talk about is a stock that somebody recommended to me, and it's an odd one, and I went ahead and took a small position. I'll just be upfront and tell you what I'm holding. I'm holding 2,000 shares of NMTR. And the reason is during the month of August, they had some insider buying. A couple of the key executives took positions, significant positions on some of the shares of their own company. I looked into it a little bit, and the only thing that I could find is that during the second half of 2021, they have some significant milestones in some phase 3 trials and phase 1-2 trials for certain drug candidates that they have. And they were recently had one of the analysts start coverage on them, initiate a $5 price target for the stock. So that was kind of interesting. So my thinking is I'm going to take a small position. So I bought 2,000 shares, and I'm just going to hold it. If I hold it for nearly a year and it goes up, $1 or $2, super. If it doesn't, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm playing with the house's money in a sense. I'm not literally, but I'm just such a small position that I'm not even going to worry about losing money on the stock. The next thing I want to talk about is a stock that I forecasted back early in August, and I've traded it several times. And with this particular stock, I'm playing basically 100% of the house's money. I have only remaining position in this stock is NBRV. I'm holding 1,000 shares. Tiny position. I've made money with the stock, but recently they did a S3 filing, a shelf filing for $150 million offering. So I'm thinking that is going to get completely diluted, and I'll probably be holding that for the significant future, maybe a year or more before I can see a return on that investment. So just keep that in mind if you're holding NBRV, NBRV Pharmaceuticals. I don't think I said that right the first time, so please forgive me. So NBRV, NBRV Pharmaceuticals, they're $150 million shelf offering, so keep that in mind so you don't lose money on that stock. Now let's move to our pick for the month of September, ADMP or Adamis Pharmaceuticals. Really interesting play here. We'll talk a little bit about what they have going on. So first of all, presently the stock trades at 77 cents a share, has a price target of $1.25 a share, or a median analyst price target of $1.25 a share. It is a low float stock, as you can see on our screen. The number of outstanding shares is 73,920,000 shares on the market presently. Now they did file to do a doubling of the share volume. So they had a total of 100 million outstanding shares. They doubled it to 200 million at the recent shareholder meeting on September 3rd. Now I was waiting to make this video for that reason alone. They were going to consider increasing the number of shares by 100 million shares, which would effectively have made it 200 million. And then they were considering reverse stock split, at the same meeting. And that second portion, the reverse stock split, did not get approved. And I'm really glad that that's the case with this stock, and that's what I was waiting for. And that's why you see a rise in the stock since September the 3rd. And now we're on, of course, September 7th, Monday, Labor Day. And so you're going to see a significant move to the upside going forward on the stock. One, because it's a low float penny stock. And two, because the number of outstanding shares of being 200 million is not going to affect the common stock outstanding shares, if that made any sense to you whatsoever. Basically, what it means is they're not ready to sell those stocks, and they've not filed to sell those stocks, additional shares at this time, is what I'm trying to say. All right, so apologize for the rusty video. So one reason I like this stock, as you can see on our screen, is their annual sales are 22 million. Even though they're losing money at the net income of minus $29 million a year, I always love stocks that show the ability to generate a return on the investment, even if it's a negative return. $22 million is nothing to laugh at. The one thing we want to be careful of is they need to make money. So they have a November 15th FDA approval for this stock coming up, and that's why I'm suggesting this stock now. I like biotech plays 45 to 60 days before the offering, so this is a good time to put this video out. Now, just so that you know, that offering, that FDA approval that they're looking forward to, that they've already arranged with another company to take in $26 million in milestone payments. USWM, I believe, is the name of the company. And the whole reason is they need to raise capital. They were holding at the last quarterly financial update, they were holding $7.9 million of cash on hand, and that was roughly the same as their quarterly burn for the stock. So they definitely need to raise $26 million. Now, there was something else that I wanted to mention. I had noted earlier when I was doing the research on the stock that they had a pending FDA approval in February. And that might have been an error. I can't find it anywhere now. I was doing the research earlier today on Adamis Pharmaceuticals, and I cannot find that statement anywhere. So if you can find it, that'd be a really good thing to point out and share in the comments below. Okay, so this is our pick for the month of September 2020, Adamis Pharmaceuticals. What do you think, YouTube? As always, do your own research. Look into the financials. You want to see how much cash on hand a company has. You also want to look at the institutional investors that they have in the stock, and in a number of other factors. So next earning date update for this stock is estimated November 10, 2020. We could see some sale of some stock shares sometime between now and November the 10th, 2020, simply because they definitely need to raise some capital in the near future. Even though they're anticipating milestone payments of $26 million during the month of November, there's no guarantee that the FDA will approve the stock, but it is highly possible that they will. Well, thanks again, YouTube, for watching. This is our pick for the month of September 2020, Adamis Pharmaceuticals, ticker symbol ADMP. Thanks again for YouTube for watching. It's me, Chris. This is Coins in the Wild. We look forward to seeing you in our next video.